you're all well. My name is Mr. Potter, and tonight I'm going to be reading you chapter 1 of one of my favourite books, Michael Morpurgo's The Butterfly Lion. Now, this book is about a young boy called Bertie who adopts a white lion from the plains of Africa. Okay. Chapter 1. Chilblains and semolina pudding. Butterflies only live short lives. They flower and flutter just for a few glorious weeks, and then they die. To see them, you have to be in the right place at the right time. And that's how it was when I saw the butterfly lion. I happened to be in just the right place at just the right time. I didn't dream him. I didn't dream any of it. I saw him, blue and shimmering in the sun, one afternoon in June when I was young. A long time ago, but I don't forget. I mustn't forget. I promised them I wouldn't. I was 10 and away at boarding school in deepest Wiltshire. I was far from home and I didn't want to be. It was a diet of Latin and stew and rugby and detentions and cross-country runs and chilblains and marks and squeaky beds and semolina pudding. And then there was Basher Beaumont, who terrorised and tormented me, so that I lived every waking moment of my life in dread of him. I often thought of running away, but only ever once plucked up the courage to do it. I was homesick after a letter from my mother. Basher Beaumont had cornered me in the boot room and smeared black shoe polish in my hair. I had done badly in a spelling test, and Mr. Carter had stood me in the corner with a book on my head through the whole lesson, his favourite torture. I was more miserable than I'd ever been before. I picked at the plaster in the wall and determined there and then I would run away. I took off next Sunday afternoon. With any luck, I wouldn't be missed till supper, and by that time I'd be home and free. I climbed the fence at the bottom of the school park, behind the trees where I couldn't be seen. Then I ran for it. I ran as if bloodhounds were after me, not stopping till I was through Innocent's Breach and out onto the road beyond. I had my escape all planned. I would walk to the station, it was only 5 miles or so, and catch the train to London. Then I'd take the underground home. I'd just walk in and tell them that I was never, ever going back. There wasn't much traffic, but all the same, I turned up the collar of my raincoat so that no one could catch a glimpse of my uniform. It was beginning to rain now. Those heavy, hard drops that mean there's more of the same to come. I crossed the road and ran along the wide grass verge under the shelter of the trees. Beyond the grass verge was a high brick wall, much of it covered with ivy. It stretched away into the distance, continuous as far as the eye could see, except for a massive arched gateway at the bend of the road. A great stone lion bestrode the gateway. I came closer. As I came closer, I could see he was roaring in the rain, his lip curled, his teeth bared. I stopped and stared up at him for a moment. That was when I heard a car slowing down behind me. I did not think twice. I pushed open the iron gate, darted through, and flattened myself behind the stone pillar. I watched the car until it disappeared round the bend. To be caught would mean a caning, 4, maybe 6 strokes across the back of the knees. Worse, I would be back at school, back to detentions, back to Basher Beaumont. To go along the road was dangerous, too dangerous. I would try to cut across the countryside to the station. It would be longer that way, but far safer.